Hi and welcome. We're giving you our August market update in the Worcestershire area. We are here to give you an update on what's going on in your marketplace in Droitwich, Worcester and Malvern, where our offices are located. And we're going to record these every single month, so you've got a snapshot of what's going on in your area. We also deliver these to 24,000 homes, and they're available on our website to download if you wish to have a copy for yourself. So we're going to start off with the demand. We had a very, very hot July. There was a couple of record days in terms of temperatures, and Rightmover confirming that the market is still very, very hot. Demand, they're saying, is down slightly year on year, but it's actually still 26% up versus the pre-pandemic time. So if you can remember back to 2019, the demand for properties right now is 26% up. The volume of new sellers coming to the market is also up, which is a real positive. So there are 13% more properties on the market this time this year versus this time last year. So you may be seeing a few more opportunities for yourself if you are looking to buy at the moment in our area. New properties coming to the market are selling a lot quicker. They're actually selling now on average in 32 days. That's 6 days faster than this time last year, and it's a massive 3 weeks quicker than the pre-pandemic time. So again, that demand and supply issue continues. Land Registry, they report their figures, and their figures are taken up to the end of April, so 30th of April this year. They've recorded that there's been 3,939 sales in Worcestershire. That's down on previous years. It's 24.2% fewer than the previous year. That's made up of Malvern. There's been 568 sales, which is 28% lower. Worcester, where most of the sales are made up, it's 1,790 sales. That's 17.6% lower. And Droitwich is a massive 40.6% down with just 374 sales. Now, if you live in Droitwich or around Droitwich, you'll know that a lot of new builds have been built in recent years, and most of those completions would have taken place in 2019 and 2020, which would be affecting these numbers that you're hearing today. Over the last 5 years, you might be interested to know what house prices have done. I think everyone's always interested to know what their house price has done. In Worcestershire, the average house price has lifted by 18% in the last 5 years. In Worcester, it's gone up by 16%. In Droitwich, it's also gone up by 16%. And in Malvern, you'll be surprised to know it's actually gone up by 22%. So if you're an investor thinking about where to buy a property that's going to have growth in terms of its value, but also give you a return on a monthly basis on the rents, you may consider Malvern as a good opportunity with 22% over the last 5 years. The lettings market is also fluctuating. We're going to talk in a short while about what the average rent is expected to do by the end of this year, but the last 12 months, the average rent has gone up by 5.1%. The average price now to rent in Droitwich is £731. That's 6% below the Worcestershire average, and the average rent in Malvern is £798, which is 2.4% above the Worcestershire average. So rents, it's not going down, unfortunately. There's still a supply and demand issue. There aren't enough properties there to rent, which is meaning that those are fortunate enough to rent are having to pay slightly more to get the property. Now the national market. In June, it was recorded there was 95,420 completions. This is the first time that it's been below 100,000 completions during a month, and this is the first time in 2022 that has happened. The volume's also a lot lower than it was in 2021. Obviously, back then we had the stamp duty incentive. It's about 50% lower in terms of completions than it was this time last year. There was obviously stamp duty incentives that by the end of June and by the end of September, it allowed you to save money on stamp duty. So that's one of the things that's had an impact on those numbers. We're still on track for around 1.2 million transactions throughout the UK, and that's on average 100,000 transactions is expected. We started off the beginning of this year with a lot more than we're now seeing going through. The average house price in the UK is £283,496. That's 12.8% higher than a year ago. So that trend that house prices have been growing and increasing, it has continued, and as we say, it's now 12.8% up on this time last year. So now to talk about the economy. Inflation hit 9.4% in June. This has been driven by cost of petrol and food, amongst other things. We're expecting the Bank of England will raise the interest rates again. So the Bank of England base rate at the moment is at 1.25%, but we're expecting it to go up by 0.5% to 1.75%. If you're currently checking out your mortgage for a remortgage, we'd recommend that you try to fix something soon to take advantage of the lower rates that are available right now. We have got domestic issues continuing and also the war in Ukraine. This is having an impact on inflation, and we expect inflation to continue to rise. During the month of May, average rents rose by 3%. This is the highest since records began in 2012. They're expected to rise to 8% over 2022. Originally, they're expecting to only go to 5%, so it's an increase on the previous forecast. An indicative gross yield at the moment for a landlord investor is around 5.8%. Versus a normal ISA, you're probably looking at around 2% with an ISA. So this is why we're seeing more investors coming back to the market as they're seeing a better return for their investments. With things like crypto being unknown, they're a bit volatile, you're finding that bricks and mortar maintains its strength, and actually this is working out for a lot of our landlord investors. So there we have it. That is our August market update, and we'll ensure that you get another one next month. If you want to download a copy of this, please get in touch with us. And also if you have any questions or if we can help you out with your property, please don't hesitate to contact one of our offices.